And I can't even show you the scars from all the times I've tried to kill myself, okay? Because they just disappeared.
Before Hugh Jackman was cast to play Wolverine, starring in a total of 8 movies as everyone's favorite Canadian superhero.
I'm so sorry. I'll never hurt you or anyone ever again.
It's too late.
Before Hugh would pick up a Golden Globe Award, a Tony, and an Emmy, would host the Tonys, and then in 2009 the Oscars, proving to America that he truly is a triple threat.
The Reader. I haven't seen The Reader. I was gonna see it later, but I fell behind.
Before starting his own production company with his longtime assistant John Palermo, earning an estimated net worth of $150 million, and marrying Deborah Lee Furness.
Obviously she's the greatest thing that ever happened to me, and it gets better and better.
Before ending his run as Wolverine in 2017 with the darkest X-Men movie ever made, rated R.
What did you do?
Charles, the world is not the same as it was.
And I'm just gonna throw it out there, I would be totally down to take on the role. I mean, I got the rough around the edges Canadian thing down pat. I'm not gonna be able to do this. Hugh, call me. I'll eat protein shakes and celery sticks. Alright, I sound desperate. Here we go. Hugh Jackman grew up in a religious Christian household that was torn apart when his mother left his father and took half the kids with her. He struggled with rage issues and a paralyzing fear until finding his peace on stage. He toyed with other career options like becoming a flight cook and an international journalist before dedicating himself to the life of a performer. It wasn't long before he was getting roles on television, which led to a breakthrough year in 1999 when he appeared in 3 Hollywood films. The very next year, he would land the iconic part he would play in a total of 8 films over 17 years. What's going on, guys? My name is Mike McCrudden, documenting the life and career of the huge jacked man, Hugh Jackman, prior to fame, here for you on Before They're Famous. If you want to learn more about his X-Men character, well, you should check out the second channel, Before They Are Fiction, where we documented the creation and origin story of Wolverine. Be sure to check it out, there is a link down below and above my head. Alright, now let's get into this bio.
Maybe we should move the goalposts out a bit wider. Or get him some bigger balls to play with. Listen, you ought to think about playing the ball, Tony, not the man.
Hugh Michael Jackson was born in Sydney, Australia on October 12, 1968 to Christopher John Jackman and Grace McNeil. His father, a Cambridge-trained accountant, his ancestry is mostly English, with his parents coming to Australia in 1967 as part of the 10-pound pumps immigration plan. What's that? Well, I'll show you a commercial.
Australia, a great place for families. Opportunity for you. Fine for your wife. Great for your children.
He also has a great-grandfather who is Greek. Or he was. Hugh has 4 older siblings and the family is devoutly Christian. A young Hugh regularly attended church and had a childhood premonition that one day he would be on stage, like the preachers he saw. As a kid, Hugh loved the outdoors, he went on camping trips and spent a lot of time at the beach. He had ambitions to travel the world, and the first career he had in mind for himself was to be a chef on an airplane. Unfortunately, that never panned out for him, because airplanes don't have chefs, right? Just microwaves. Plus, Hugh's way too handsome to not become an actor. When Hugh was 8 years old, his parents divorced. That split the family apart literally. His mother moved back to England and brought his sisters with her. His father remarried in Australia with Hugh and his 2 brothers.
How do you feel about goodbyes?
In general, not great at goodbyes.
The breakup of the family left Hugh with a lot of anger, which according to him began to surface when he was 12 or 13. At the time, his parents were considering reconciliation, but it never happened. As he approached adolescence, he boiled over. As he puts it, there was this perfect storm of hormones and emotion. To vent his frustration, he used to headbutt metal lockers and leave a dent. Ouch. He also channeled his rage into sports like rugby. Fear was also a big part of his early life. He was scared of heights and scared of the dark. Luckily, he was not afraid of performance. In fact, he would soon find that performance would give him a kind of peace, almost like a religious experience. Hugh attended Pymble Public School before transferring to Knox Grammar School, where he became the school captain in his final year. Outside of sports, he also starred in the school production of My Fair Lady in 1985. Underneath his desk, he had a photo of Olivia Newton-John, which he would sneak down and give her a kiss from time to time. He ended up telling her this when he met her years later. Following graduation, he spent a gap year working at Uppingham School in England. Then he returned to Australia to attend the University of Technology, Sydney, graduating in 1991 with a bachelor's degree in communication with plans of becoming an international journalist. In his final year, he took a drama class and as a result took the lead in a performance of a play called The Memorandum. After receiving his BA, Hugh continued to study acting at the Actors Centre in Sydney and the Western Australian Academy of Performing Arts.
One of my dreams was to work with Ian McKellen, Patrick Stewart, Judi Dench at the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Come on.
I swear to you.
But it wasn't long before he was landing roles on television. He was actually offered a role on the popular soap Neighbours, but turned it down. In 1994, he made his first appearance on television in the show Law of the Land.
Don't beat Marsdale, boys. Well, we've been so long since we won, you're lucky we remembered the bloody war cry.
Great scene! The next year he would land his first recurring role starring as Kevin Jones in Corelli.
I see the warmth behind that tight little smile.
It was on this show that he developed a crush on its leading lady, Deborah Lee Furness. It took him a week to work up the nerve to actually talk to her. So he decided to host a dinner party, and after a few drinks, he told her he had a crush on her. It turns out she also had a crush on him, and their budding romance soon turned into marriage when they tied the knot in 1996. That same year, Hugh would star as Duncan Jones in Snowy River: The McGregor Saga. With his TV career blowing up, it wouldn't be long before Hollywood would come knocking. In 1999, he had a breakthrough year, scooping up starring roles in Oklahoma, Erskineville Kings, and Paperback Hero. But it wouldn't be until 2000 that Hugh would land the role that made him a familiar face to American audiences.
There is a war coming. You sure you're on the right side?
Hugh Jackman was cast to play Wolverine for Bryan Singer's X-Men. He has played the part for the better part of 2 decades and has done such a bang-up job that it's hard to imagine anyone else in the role. But there is actually plenty of reasons not to cast Hugh as Logan. He's too tall for starters, and he's Australian, whereas the character is from Canada. And before Hugh landed the role, several other actors were considered, but ultimately turned it down, including Keanu Reeves, Viggo Mortensen, DeGray Scott, and Russell Crowe. We talk more about this in our Before Their Fiction video. Luckily, Hugh got the part, even though he wasn't the first choice to play Logan, but it certainly seems to have been the best choice. He was fantastic. Hugh reprised the role in 2003's X-Men 2, X-Men the Official Video Game, X-Men The Last Stand from 2006, X-Men Origins Wolverine in 2009, 2013's The Wolverine, X-Men Days of Future Past the next year, and X-Men Apocalypse in 2016. Oh yeah, and finally, 2017's Logan.
Beneath the stain
She's like you.
of time.
Very much like you.
Well, you might expect playing such an iconic character would get you typecast, but after donning the role, his career exploded, landing him roles in very different films. There was Swordfish, there was Van Helsing, The Prestige, The Fountain, Happy Feet, and Les Miserables. Huh? Nah, I didn't say that right. Okay, I'm Canadian, but I'm not French Canadian. No, I'm no francophone.
Bring him home. Bring him home.
2017 marks Hugh's final performance as Wolverine. Who does he think should replace him? Well, he suggested Saru Khan, and I could see it. I could also see a trimmed down me taking on the role. Please call me. In 2017, aside from his appearance in Logan, Hugh will be playing P.T. Barnum in The Greatest Showman, and the rest of the story, well, we'll have to wait and see and find out together, because this is Before They're Famous. I love you guys, and I thank you for subscribing to this channel, and browse around, hit subscribe, yeah, see our other videos, see you guys in the next one. Oh yeah, and check out Before They're Fiction, please. I shouldn't say please. Hugh, call me.